Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shantae, and you might know me as Just How I Planted on Instagram and Facebook because I make custom plant. What do I make? I make custom plant pot holders for your house plants. But I am starting this YouTube journey, so I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, and comment because it's free for you, but it helps me out a lot. So I'll wait while you do that. Okay, you're done. Okay, great. Well, this video is going to be about how to propagate your golden pothos so that you can multiply multiply your plants, because you can never have too many plants. And if your plant is a little sparse or bare and you just want to make it more full, then propagating is the way to do that. So go ahead and stay tuned for this video, and we about to get it propagated. No, I'm a Bama. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. All right, here I have my once beautiful, once luscious, once very full golden pothos that is now very struggly, very straggly, but we're going to take care of that today. So I brought in a plant and it infected all my other plants. That's why you're supposed to check with your plants before you bring them in the house. But I did not, but I digress. I brought the plant in, it infected several of my other plants, and now I have this very leggy pothos. It's very sparse in the top, so we are going to propagate it. And that's the beauty of propagation. You spend $14 on a plant and you can make more and more and more plants. So if you want to propagate to fill empty spaces in your plant, you can do that. Or if you just want to create a whole new plant, whatever you want to do. But today I'm cutting some stuff off, okay? So to do that, I have my bag of sphagnum moss. I also have my plastic bag that I'm reusing from another propagation because waste not, want not. Okay, we're going green. You see what I did there? We're going green. We reason this bag. I have my handy dandy paintbrush, and I'm just going to use that to create holes in the soil for a soil propagation, because I will be showing you three different propagation, what is the word? I don't know words. Three different propagation methods, which is soil, bag, and water propagations. So next, I also have my handy dandy scissors along with some hand sanitizer so I can make sure that the scissors are clean. And then I have my spray bottle. So also for water propagation, of course, you're going to need some water, and voila. Here is the water that I will be using for my water propagations. As you can see, I have some cuttings that have been rooting for a couple of weeks. I had all of these vials filled with propagations, but I potted them up earlier today. So I'm about to refill them and have my propagation wall propagating and popping and looking glorious while making me new plants. So let's get started. All right, so the first step we want to do is we want to clean our tools. So I don't know how proper this is, but this is just what I do. Just cleaning the scissors, making sure there's no bacteria on it. So if you look, you can see I have several vines that are very sparse, like this one right here. Now, I'm like, am I supposed to waste all this? You watch a lot of propagation videos and they're like, find a node that has at least 3 leaves or such and such and such, whatever. But I'm like, no, you gotta be able to use this, stop being wasteful. And I just watched a YouTube video of this guy propagating just the stem with no leaves. So I will be saving that, and I'm going to propagate those also. And then I'll do a follow-up video in a couple of weeks to see how those go. But that's not what we're getting into today. So first, I'm going to just find a node, and you can see a node because it's like a break within the stem. So I have nodes all through here, and right underneath the leaf is always when you find the node. So here, 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 here. And then so for the ones without the leaves, I will still propagate in the same spot. Okay, so let's start by cutting that off. So I have my vine right here. And I'm also going to take this because it's not adding anything to the plant. So I'm going to put that to the side for later. I'm going to propagate that in some sphagnum moss. All right, so once you decide where you want to take your cuttings, all you're going to do is just cut on either side of the node. So as you can see here, I will be cutting here. You can cut that off. I don't need all of that. You can cut here. Now, you can go ahead and propagate this whole thing. The only thing is the more leaves it has, the more energy that it's taking from creating roots. The plant is still going to be focusing on the leaves. So it's best if you try to have as few leaves as possible. So that's just what I'm doing right here. All right. So, like I said, I will be showing you 3 different propagation methods, which is soil, the plastic bag method, and the water method. So for soil, don't mind my little pan here. I just am bottom watering it. But anyway, so I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm just going to dig a hole in the soil, just big enough for the node to go in. And so you can see how this will fill in your gaps really easy and make your plant look more luxurious and lustrous. Okay, so after you fill your pot in, you're going to give it some water, but not too much water because there's not a lot of roots. So you might just spray it just enough so the water can signal to the node to start producing roots. All right, so that's our first method. Moving on. Okay, next I'm going to take my plastic Ziploc bag and I'm going to fill it with some sphagnum moss. And your cuttings, you want to give them the most optimal environment to grow in. So I'm just going to stick my cuttings in here, and the bag will help create like a miniature greenhouse for my cuttings. Put that in there. And then I'm also going to go ahead and stick these in the bag. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to date the bag just so I can know for myself how long it's going to take for everything to root, especially these stem cuttings, because this is my first time doing the stem propagation. Cut all that, and I'm only going to put the nodes in there. Oh, I'm crap everywhere. Okay. I might trash this one. If you can see, yeah, I might trash that one. Okay, so taking my node cuttings, let you just see that, and I'm gonna put them in the bag with everything else. Now for the leaf cuttings, they should take about 2 weeks to start making new roots. So I'm gonna take my bag and I'm just gonna spray it. So you want it to be moist, but not overly wet, because of course that can form mold and mildew. And I'm gonna zip the bag up and I'm gonna blow air in it. So I have air in it, and I'm going to place this in a bright and direct spot so it's getting light but not too hot of sun. And I'm just going to put it like in a windowsill or something. And every couple days I'm going to open it just to let fresh air in, because you don't want mold and you don't want your cuttings to rot. So for the last method, we're going to be putting some stuff in water. All right, so for the water propagations, I need to cut some more leaves. So we're just going to do the same thing we did before. We want the node. Alrighty. Propagate 2 in a bag. All right, so let's go on over to the propagation station. All right, we're back at the propagation station, and I just want to use my, what is this thing called? My, y'all know what it's called. I don't want to say tea kettle. My, watering can. Yes, use my watering can to fill the top up, because, you know, this water is going to evaporate. Like, so you see how these are this low? That's because the water has evaporated. And so because of how I have this secured to the wall, I can't dump them out. So I just top them off with water. I don't necessarily change the water out. So I'm just going to plop them in water and forget about them. And I will check on them probably in a week or so. Seems I put too much water in there. But I have enough, I can just move to another one. So why don't I do that? Yes. And then have that one in there by itself. It's lonely. Maybe I should cut some more stuff and put it in there. All right. So let me just show you guys how to do a cutting that has more leaves. It's really the same thing. As you can see, this one, see, it has several leaves, and it has fruits. So you can still do it that way if you don't want to go through the process of waiting to grow a whole new plant, although pothos grow rather quickly. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we'll conclude this video. Okay, so I found a vine that doesn't have many leaves on it anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and locate the node, and I'm going to cut here. Now, had I cut this and there were leaves here, I would just peel the leaves back just so that it could fit in the propagation tube. I don't know words today, I'm sorry. Okay, so we're just going to go and plop it in there, and then that'll be that. Okay, so we're just going to add our stem here. And we're going to take the watering can, because I know the word for it now. And we're going to fill it up. And that'll be that. So ideally, I would love this whole thing to just be climbing with vines and propagations. And I'll do another video on that. So stay tuned for that, and make sure that you are subscribed so you can get notified when it is posted. So, did you learn some stuff? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you just like watching propagation videos and you don't even have plants. Whatever the case, I'm glad that you stayed to the end. Once again, go ahead and subscribe if you're not. And I'll leave links below for certain things like the propagation tubes that I used. And I'll see you on the next video. Happy planting!